Hello, I'm Stuart Tucker, and this is a meditation for June 3rd, 2020. One of my favorite Peanuts cartoon strips begins with Snoopy on his doghouse bending over typewriter, and Lucy approaches him, laughing. She says, "I hear you're writing a book on theology. I hope you have a good title," she says, walking away laughing. Snoopy, air bubble, appears over his head, responds, "I have the perfect title. Have you ever considered the possibility that you could be wrong?" That's a hard thing for us human beings. Considering the possibility that we could be wrong. Years back, I went and made a pastoral call on a church member who lived out of town. She lived in Carleton, actually, Massachusetts. I got on the Massachusetts Turnpike, drove out there, and had a pleasant visit with a lady. Got back in my car, got back on the turnpike. Was driving along and listening to the radio and thinking to myself, dang, it's a long trip back from Carleton back home. I keep driving. I notice that the terrain is not familiar. This is when I was a new resident of Massachusetts, not familiar with the towns and the signs. Keep driving. The terrain is getting more and more mountainous, and I kind of register that and wonder how I could have missed that as I keep on driving and driving. I'm listening to a Boston radio station, and it's getting fainter and fainter, and I wonder what's wrong with my radio. Keep on driving. Finally, it begins to dawn on me the possibility that I may have gotten on the westbound Mass Pike and not the eastbound, which would lead me home. And this thought occurs to me just as I pass an exit. And if you're familiar with Mass Turnpike, you don't have exits every 1 mile or 2 mile. You have them every 15 or 20 miles. So passing that exit meant I would have to drive. And by this time the radio is gone, and I do look at the sign that says Mass Pike westbound. It took me a very long time to consider the possibility that I could be wrong. And the consequences of that mistake was something I had to live with. For those 20 miles, I had to keep on driving the wrong way, knowing that when I finally got turned around, I would have to make up those same infuriating 20 miles as I began my return trip. You know, The Greek word that we find in the New Testament for repentance literally means changing direction. Metanoia is the actual Greek word. So my metanoia moment finally came as I came to the next exit. Actually, it was the border between Massachusetts and New York. And this New York Turnpike toll taker was at his booth, and I pulled up and I said, "Sir, how do I turn around?" And he very politely gave me directions. Well, you just go there, and this is where you can turn around. And he didn't charge me anything. I got off for free. Which surprised me. But that is exactly how it is when we make that very, very hard decision and realization that we've been wrong. And we reach the point where we're able to acknowledge that and have our metanoia moment, our repentance. God lets us turn around for free. And that is a meditation for today, June 3rd, 2020. Goodbye, and God bless you all.